How's it going, everybody? Yesterday I saw a clip pop up on my feed that absolutely had my blood boiling. Raja Jackson, man-child of former UFC Rampage Jackson, decided to go into a wrestling ring and attempt to take Syko Stu's life away from him. Now, a lot of you people might not know who Raja is. Raja, throughout his entire 25 years, has been living in the spotlight of his father, Rampage Jackson. He could never get past it. He always knew he'd never be as tough as Rampage. It left this man a stunted, emotional man-child clown who can't even take a little bit of ribbing every now and then because that tests his manhood. And these emotions have been weighing on him heavy because no one would really know who this guy is if Rampage Jackson didn't recently get a kick deal. And he was like, man, Raja, he's never really going to do anything in his life. The MMA career isn't going anywhere. Let me throw him a bone. Let me get him on kick and try to make him a celebrity. And you know what? That was working out. He was about as big of a loser as people like Syko, Jack Doherty, and Neon, people that he was hanging out with. He really fit in with them. And you know what? If those guys have a career, he might have been able to do it too. But it turns out Raja was a bigger clown than each and every one of them. And I know that's a hard level to obtain, but Raja did it. But this guy proved that he doesn't deserve anywhere near a wrestling ring, a UFC ring, or a camera at all, because the only place he belongs is behind bars. So I want you guys to watch this clip real quick of Raja Jackson and Syko Stu meeting for the first time.
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a... Oh, you don't sell it?
What's that?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a bro.
I'm good. I know you will.
No.
We're good.
I will f him up, bro.
I know you will.
I don't play that shit.
Sorry about that.
So let's start off with this. Raja knew he was going to a wrestling event. Not only did he know he was going to a wrestling event, he went to the back with his friend AJ, who's the guy in a cowboy hat, who I think I already mentioned was a loser, but let's just say it again to make sure we get the point across. But Raja knows he's going to be in the back, and wrestlers are personalities, like every single one of them. That's like literally their job. So when you're back there, dude, you are in their world. You have no right to be acting crazy or out of line at all. You know what to expect when it comes to wrestling. So Rampage Jackson was a UFC fighter. Well, excuse me, at the time he was a Pride fighter in Japan, and Pride was closely associated with NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, I think, at the time. So he was a huge fan. So I would assume that Raja grew up around wrestling, going to events, so he knows what was happening. This was just a complete emotional outburst because he had got rocked in sparring a couple of weeks ago. Excuse me, a couple of weeks. It was literally a couple of days before this, and I believe Raja still had a concussion, which is why he was a little bit more angry, which people could say, like, yeah, that is a justifiable thing, but not to the extent that Raja took it. And the fact that Raja accepted this man's apology 3 times, so the fact that Raja got so emotional over this is just on him. It absolutely is. That can did not hurt Raja at all. That's why he reacted like Superman when it just went across his head, because if anyone got hurt during that bit, it was Syko Stu. That probably hurt his finger a lot. And the first question Syko Stu asks is, why aren't you selling this? For the people who don't know, selling basically means, pretending this hurt me really, really bad. Syko Stu's seen the cameras. He's seen everyone walking around him and like, oh, this is a worker. This is a guy who's got some cameras on him. We're going to get some stuff in. Maybe we can get some heat going. We can get an angle working. That's the way wrestlers think, which you can tell by the old guy immediately popping up like, oh man, that's my bad. But what you guys don't see is that old guy like, hey, we're gonna get some heat off this angle. That's what we're gonna do. You know, if this bad thing's gonna happen, why not make some money off of it? Because that's also the way wrestlers work. So Raja and Syko Stu apologized to each other profusely. Well, I mean, Syko Stu, the good man he is, apologizes profusely, and Raja accepts it. They act like they're cool. They hang out for a little bit, and they're like, hey, you know, maybe just throw a little receipt in there when you get in the ring. Such a terrible idea, because first off, Raja isn't a worker, and everyone should have known right then and there that this guy is incredibly emotional. But it didn't help that that dude in a cowboy hat definitely made things 1,000 times worse after they left everyone. Because you're going to hear this a little bit later, but the guy who broke Syko Stu and Raja up said that the dude in the cowboy hat, AJ, had a personal beef with Stu. So when Raja and AJ go into the back, AJ's like, hey man, make sure you give him a hell of a receipt because we don't play that. That never happens in wrestling. There's never been a time in the world where wrestlers are being in character and making a show for the camera. That never happens. So make sure you get yours in. And from what the guy who broke up the fight said, this was all pre-planned. He said he hated Syko Stu and he wanted this to happen. He knew Raja was an easy man to manipulate and that's what he did. But it just goes to show that this is incredibly terrible. This entire event, it's got so many layers and there's one victim in all of this, and it's Syko Stu, a veteran of the United States military, a man who had PTSD, who was going into the ring to improve his PTSD. He said it helped him. Well, guess what, Raja? Guess what, AJ? Now he's going to have that all over again thanks to you guys. The one thing he had in this world is gone from him.
I told you to double leg that motherfucker and start welding. I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the up. He's in the ring.
My
You
bad.
didn't have to do all that shit. I understand y'all had heat. You didn't have to take advantage.
I'll call you back later.
Let's be very frank about this, guys. Syko Stu let you into his hands. You are an MMA fighter. You could have probably done this in general, but you took the coward's way out. You're one of the most cowardly people that I have ever saw. You're a trained fighter, UFC legend trained, and Syko Stu is willingly letting you pick him up, knows a one receipt is probably coming his way and is just going to take it, but you go overboard because some 12-year-olds and your dad made fun of you a little bit. So I don't want to take too long on this part because we're about to go into the podcast where the man who broke up the altercation is talking about what happened. So I just got one thing to say about Raja's actions after this. Like the way he's just saying my bad, like yeah, it's all cool. He's just huffing and puffing and so upset. He definitely is just thinking about himself in this situation. He's upset that he might have ruined his entire life. He's not even thinking about Stu for one moment. It's truly psychotic behavior. And the way Rampage Jackson acted after this, saying that he's lucky that he wasn't there, or Rampage Jackson, I guess it is a good thing that you wasn't there, or both you and your son would probably be spending a long time behind bars because you don't know how to emotionally check yourself. Hopefully that's not the way you raised Raja, because it's really a bad look, dude. 100%. I was a huge fan of Rampage Jackson 2 or 3 days ago, but yeah, that I don't even know if I can say that anymore.
We are here today actually because Doug has been all over the news today over something that's going super viral right now, because for those of you guys that haven't heard, Raja Jackson, Rampage Jackson's son, tried to yesterday, and Doug was actually the one who pretty much stepped in and saved them. Actually happened to Stu. How bad are his injuries?
Broken facial bones is from what I'm hearing. Missing teeth. Has no recollection of what happened. Incoherent. He was out on the slam and then the guy had made contact multiple times. I remember seeing that, kind of being in shock, and then I just went. Aside of that, running in, there was other people that could have got involved that I made eye contact with, but they just stayed by the stage. Let me put it this way. I'm sorry to Stu that the people that said that they were your friends let this happen.
So how did you end up being involved? Because from what I understand, you weren't part of that match, that segment. How did you end up out there in the middle of the ring during this match?
I just got done with my match. I was blown up, took the heat, did the shit. Then I get a whisper by somebody, hey, something is not right. I might need you to go out there and check a scenario. This guy's going to do a spot. I'm like, when does the spot happen? Oh, we'll let you know. We'll let you know. Well, you want to let me know, but like, you're not telling me when the cue is, when is the spot supposed to happen. You're just going to let me know just in case. I was informed about the beer can incident actually shortly before that. They told me that they, made up, shook hands, hugged it out multiple times. So it was going to be fine, but they just want to make sure. I talked to the person out front with the radio. I walk back to the ring. I see the slam. I see the first punch, second punch, and by then I'm at people in front of me and I just start moving. I kind of wish I would have just sprung on like the slam. So that's where I'm at. I mean, honestly, there's nothing worse than you watch somebody you care about. He's a veteran. He's me. And these are people who are supposed to love him. And I'm the only one on the outskirts to be told to watch this, apparently. And then I'm in there and I'm battling, I'm doing whatever, trying to like work this. And I'm telling the guy to calm down. And now he's trying to fight me. It's all f***ed. You know, like there's...
So them telling you to watch this and get involved, if this was supposed to be an angle, it kind of doesn't make any sense because you have nothing to do with their storyline or whatever. It seems like they kind of wanted you there just because you're the only one who can shoot, which in wrestling means for real fight, right?
Raja Jackson does not even know the amount of people he hurt that night, from the amount of women and children who had to see this vicious attack on somebody for no reason whatsoever, to the amount of people who are affected by this in general in Syko Stu's life. You ruined so many things. It's a miracle that Syko Stu is even talking and walking at the moment. It wasn't even sure at the time the video was made that it was going to happen. Syko Stu's life was hanging in the balance, and all you cared about was the fact that your feelings got hurt, Raja. Now I'm going to give you guys a small update right now. Syko Stu's brother is saying that he's okay right now. He's stable, he's talking, and he's doing a little bit more than he was for the most part, and nothing will probably be normal again because of Raja's actions, but for the most part Syko Stu is okay at the moment. But the guy who didn't break it up jump in there when he did, Raja wasn't going to stop. If you guys watch the clip, you'll see there was no intentions of him in giving up at the moment. Just from the fact that he started brawling with the guy who was breaking it up just shows that his intentions were pure evil. He was trying to do the most damage that he possibly could to anybody he could, just so his chat could spam W a couple of times, and maybe his dad Rampage would give him a pat on the back and say good job. And we just gotta throw this out here, the amount of people that are defending this in the pro wrestling community, like professional wrestlers themselves, is absolutely insane. If this was to happen to any of your family members, you wouldn't know what to think. You would be angry, sad, frustrated, all at the same time, wondering how this happened. But we got people like RVD and Mark Henry trying to defend this for some reason, even though if this was to happen to them, oh man, all bets would be off. They would be hoping that they serve jail time. This is absolutely ridiculous. You can't defend this at all. Raja's a grown man. People keep referring to him as a kid to diminish his actions, but these grown man's actions have changed people's life for the worse, all because he's a little bit emotional.
The fact that they told you to watch out and, be ready, and the fact that this had nothing to do with any of the storylines kind of shows that this was premeditated, right?
I think the premeditation part comes on the side of AJ Mana. You brought somebody that was volatile, that you knew had issues.
You pull him off, and then he tried to go at you. So that was he trying to continue beating him even further?
I think the culmination between his dad picking on him and all his daddy issues came out, and all the shit that AJ gassed up into his head. Because let me put it this way, I don't like Raja. I think Raja's a shit person for what he did. But I think AJ's a bigger shit person for gassing him up to be in that fucking ring, to leading him to ruin his own fucking life, to hurt somebody that AJ also has a fucking problem with. You can't fucking tell me that's not... I don't believe in coincidence. You have kids at the show, you have families at the show. We're supposed to be here for a good time. And why I keep bringing up that fucking asshole with the stupid cowboy hat? Because you brought somebody that was volatile. You knew he was volatile. You set him up. You had him do your dirty work at a show where everybody's doing this for entertainment. And you wanted to do that? What a fucking prick. Both of those fucking people. Everybody involved with that person. And here's my thing about the Raja situation. His dad is going to be hurting. His family's going to be hurting because of the trauma with their fucking son doing this shit. The embarrassment, all of that stuff. Right? You have somebody that's unhinged. He needs mental help, but he needs to go to jail as well.
You end up getting involved?
Yeah, no, they were multiple reports. I talked to the cops. I gave them my information.
But the most disgusting thing is that people at this school are being encouraged to not cooperate with the police. From what I hear, the police were there investigating the scene shortly after Stu was removed, and there has been multiple requests that have gone downstream from upper management to not talk with the police directly if they are contacted, and to only let a certain group of individuals interact with the police. That is extremely dishonest. You guys let your friend almost, and now you're trying to have people lie for you. And you to every single person who replied to them, yes, sir.
I mean, yeah, he literally sat there and let the chat rile him up.
He's on video, and this is where he's going to get real is he's on video as the chat's riling him up, and you can check the clips online. He's saying, yeah, I'm going to fuck him up. I'm going to hurt him. I'm not going to stop. They told me I could do it. They gave me the green light. This is going to be real. He's premeditating the attempted that he is about to commit, and this is, millions of people have seen this at this point.
It's a fucked up situation. I couldn't imagine being a father and having a son that did something like that. And I couldn't imagine being a father and had a son who had something done to him like that. And I've been telling people even on Reddit, put yourself in everyone else's shoes that was involved. There was kids that were traumatized.
What a crappy situation all around. The fact that that wrestling company can text their employees and say, hey, don't talk to the cops about this. That is not good for our business. But hey, make sure that you post what happened to Stu all over the social media so we can get some more popularity off this. Just goes to show that everyone involved in this situation, besides the dude that helped him, besides all the people who witnessed it, are just absolutely awful people. If you was one of the people that sit there and watch that happen to Stu, what's wrong with you? If you're one of the promoters who allowed Raja to get himself into that situation in the first place, you're absolutely disgusting. And I guarantee you that AJ guy was paying attention to Raja's stream. He probably knew what he was saying. At least someone probably had a good idea that Raja was planning on doing something way more. That's the reason they were telling that dude to watch out for him. This is absolutely disgusting. They didn't care about Stu. All they cared about was that was Rampage Jackson's son. He's got some cameras on him and we might get some more buzz off of this. And to the dude in the cowboy hat, every one of your actions were disgusting as well. And to the dude in the cowboy hat, your actions were disgusting as well. If you had problems with Syko Stu, this was not the way to handle it. Syko Stu was allowing his body in Raja's hands, and you made sure Raja exploded and took liberties. And not only did he take liberties, he ruined Stu's life. And just to be clear, none of that diminishes Raja's actions. He did this all himself. He raised those hands. He did it 23 to 24 times, and he tried to do it even more. It's lucky that someone actually stepped in, or this could be an entirely different video, an entirely different circumstance. And I can only hope that there's justice served at the end of the day. But I guess, guys, that's the end of this video. If something major comes out of this, we'll probably have an update. So to stay tuned, like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.